A Russian spy plane was intercepted near the HMS Queen Elizabeth, sparking tensions on the high seas. What could have gone wrong during this encounter? How close were we to a major international incident? As HMS Queen Elizabeth carried out its operations, the presence of a Russian aircraft was detected by the carrier's sophisticated radar systems. The Royal Navy's radar, among the most advanced in the world, quickly picked up the signature of the approaching T-42, a long-range maritime patrol aircraft. Often used for reconnaissance missions, the decision was made to scramble F-35B Lightning jets and Typhoon fighters to intercept the Russian plane. The interception was carried out with precision. The F-35B jets, renowned for their stealth capabilities and advanced avionics, took off from the flight deck of the Queen Elizabeth. Within minutes, simultaneously Typhoon fighters from the Royal Air Force were deployed from nearby bases to provide additional support. The pilots, highly trained in such scenarios, executed a coordinated approach, ensuring that the Russian aircraft was closely monitored without provoking an escalation. The Russian spy plane, while attempting to gather intelligence on the carrier strike group, was soon surrounded by NATO aircraft. The pilots likely went into a complex set of maneuvering, with a Russian crew trying to evade or outmaneuver the interceptors while continuing their surveillance mission. Communication between the aircraft would have been tense, with each side keenly aware of the potential for miscalculation. From the Russian perspective, such surveillance missions are routine, aimed at assessing the capabilities and the readiness of NATO forces. For NATO and the UK in particular, this interception was a necessary defensive measure, a show strength and readiness to protect its assets and allies. The encounter, while not uncommon in international waters, carried the risk of escalation, especially if either side had misjudged the other's intentions or capabilities. But before we get to that, let's talk a bit about the strategic importance of the HMS Queen Elizabeth. The HMS Queen Elizabeth is the flagship of the Royal Navy and stands as a symbol of British naval engineering prowess and military strength. As the lead vessel of the Queen Elizabeth class, it is the most advanced and powerful warship ever built for the Royal Navy, with a displacement of around 65,000 tons. This aircraft carrier is designed to project British military power globally, and it plays a central role in the UK's defence and strategic operations. The carrier is capable of carrying up to 40 aircraft, including the cutting-edge F-35B Joint Strike Fighters. These jets, known for their stealth and versatility, are essential to the carrier's mission of delivering air power. The variability of the HMS Queen Elizabeth to launch and recover aircraft at a moment's notice is one of its key features. The flight deck, which spans 4 acres, can rapidly deploy aircraft, allowing 4 fighter jets to be moved from the hangar to the flight deck in just 1 minute. This capability ensures that the HMS Queen Elizabeth can respond swiftly to threats, project air power, and maintain air superiority in any conflict zone. But there is more to this vessel than just its aviation capabilities. The HMS Queen Elizabeth is equipped with state-of-the-art radar communication systems and defensive weapons. These advanced systems enable the carrier to detect and respond to potential threats long before they become imminent, making it an extremely intimidating asset in naval warfare. The ship's integrated combat systems allows for seamless coordination with other naval and air assets, improving its operational effectiveness. The Queen Elizabeth also plays a major role in the UK's diplomatic and strategic engagements. As the Royal Navy's flagship, it often serves as a venue for high-level meetings, military planning, and command operations. This dual role clearly shows the carrier's importance, not only in defence but also in reinforcing the UK's commitments to its allies and its standing as a global power. The carrier's recent deployments, particularly in the North Sea and the Arctic, are evidence of its strategic significance. These regions are of particular interest to both NATO and Russia, making them hotspots for military activity. The presence of the HMS Queen Elizabeth in these waters is a clear demonstration of the UK's calm commitment to defending its interest and those of its allies. These operations are not only about maintaining military readiness but also about sending a message to potential adversaries. The carrier strike group's activities in these strategically vital regions reflect the UK's readiness to protect its interest against any threat. Although we mustn't forget about the bigger picture. The interception of the Russian spy plane near the HMS Queen Elizabeth cannot be fully understood without considering the wider geopolitical context. Since the end of the Cold War, tensions between NATO and Russia have never fully dissipated. On the contrary, in recent years these tensions have escalated, particularly in the Arctic and the North Atlantic regions, where both sides have significant strategic interests. The Arctic in particular has become a focal point of military activity. As climate change opens up new shipping routes and access to natural resources, the region has gained importance for both economic and military reasons. Russia has been aggressively expanding its military presence in the Arctic, building new bases and deploying advanced weaponry to assert its control over the region. This has led to a corresponding increase in NATO's military activities, including more frequent naval patrols and exercises. NATO's response to Russia's actions in the Arctic and North Atlantic have been multifaceted. Though on the one hand there is an emphasis on deterrence with increased military presence and readiness, on the other hand diplomatic efforts continue to play a crucial role in managing tensions and preventing conflicts from escalating. The interception of the Russian spy plane is a reflection of this equilibrium. NATO forces must be prepared to defend themselves, but they must also avoid actions that could lead to a wider conflict. Now the thing is that the North Sea and the Arctic are the regions where the potential for accidents or misunderstandings is. To follow up from where we left off, high in these contested regions, the waters near Norway, the North Sea and the Arctic are not just critical for global shipping and natural resource extraction, but also serve as key strategic areas for both NATO and the Russian military forces. Given the significance, it's no surprise that both sides regularly engage in surveillance, reconnaissance, and military posting in these regions. From Russia's perspective, the Arctic holds significant military and economic value. Moscow has heavily invested in its northern fleet and infrastructure in the region, considering it as essential to its national security and its economic future. This has included modernizing old Soviet bases, constructing new ones, and deploying advanced weapon systems capable of defending its interests in the far north. For NATO, particularly the United Kingdom, ensuring freedom of navigation and deterring potential Russian aggression in these waters has become a priority. The interception near the HMS Queen Elizabeth must be seen in this context. The Russian spy plane was likely attempting to gather intelligence on NATO's capabilities and readiness. A standard practice during such exercises. The Royal Navy's response, while offensive in nature, was also a demonstration of NATO's vigilance and commitment to safeguarding its operations in these strategic waters. But of course, this encounter could have turned out much differently. But before we get to possible scenarios, let us know in the comments if you think that Russia is planning something a bit more terrifying than just a simple act of espionage. So as we were saying, the potential outcomes of this encounter could have ranged from accidental escalation to significant diplomatic fallout, and each scenario would have carried its own set of consequences. So let's explore these possibilities in detail. One of the most significant risks in any military encounter is the potential for accidental escalation. Military forces, especially those operating in close proximity, must carefully manage the fine line between deterrence and provocation. In this instance, the intercept of the Russian spy plane by NATO forces, including F-35B Lightning jets from HMS Queen Elizabeth, could have led to an unintended confrontation if either side had misjudged the other's actions. For example, if the Russian aircraft had interpreted NATO's jet's approach as an immediate threat, the crew might have engaged in evasive maneuvers or even deployed defensive countermeasures. Such actions could have been perceived by the NATO pilot as hostile, prompting a quick escalation, to say the least. A mid-air collision or mistaken missile launch could have turned a routine interception into a full-blown military incident. The consequences of such an escalation would have been severe, triggering a response not just from the involved parties but also from their respective allies. NATO, as a collective defense organization, could have found itself on the brink of invoking Article 5, which stipulates that an armed attack against one member is considered an attack against all. Similarly, Russia could have responded by increasing its military presence in the region, leading to a potential standoff, or in the worst-case scenario, a broader military engagement. And here's the real kicker: this kind of accidental escalation has historical precedents. The 1983 shooting down of Korean Airlines Flight 007 by the Soviet Union, which mistakenly identified the civilian airliner as a U.S. reconnaissance aircraft, is only one instance which misjudgment led to tragedy. An international crisis. In the context of the HMS Queen Elizabeth's encounter, the risks were similar, though fortunately both sides managed to avoid such a catastrophic outcome. The incident could have been used by Russia to support its claims that NATO is encroaching on its sphere of influence, thus justifying its own military buildup in the region. On the other hand, NATO could have used this incident to spotlight the threat posed by Russian surveillance activities and the need for a robust defense posture. This kind of diplomatic fallout could have had a long-term implication for international relations. It might have complicated ongoing diplomatic efforts to manage tensions between NATO and Russia, particularly in sensitive areas like the Arctic and Eastern Europe. Additionally, it could have influenced other international negotiations, including arms control talks, where mutual trust and cooperation are of the utmost importance. On the flip side, the successful interception of the Russian spy plane can be viewed as a strong demonstration of NATO's deterrence capabilities by responding quickly and effectively to the presence of a potential threat. NATO sent a clear message to Russia and other potential adversaries that it is vigilant and prepared to defend its interests. This demonstration of deterrence not only reassures NATO members and allies that the alliance remains capable and committed to their defense, but it also deters future provocations by showing that it can detect and intercept potential threats with precision. NATO discourages adversaries from attempting similar actions in the future. Finally, the incident near the HMS Queen Elizabeth stresses the critical importance of established rules of engagement and communication channels between military forces operating in close proximity. These protocols are designed to prevent misunderstandings and manage interactions between potentially hostile forces, reducing the risk of accidental conflict. In this case, both NATO and Russian forces adhere to these established protocols, allowing the situation to be managed professionally and without escalation. The NATO pilots would have followed strict rules, ensuring that their actions were defensive and proportionate to the perceived threat. Similarly, the Russian crew likely adhered to their own protocols, avoiding actions that could have been misinterpreted as aggressive. The successful management of this encounter reaffirms the value of such engagements and stresses the need for continued dialogue and cooperation between NATO and Russian military forces, while the geopolitical environment remains tense. These communications channels are vital for preventing incidents From escalating into conflicts, they also play a key role in maintaining stability in regions where military forces from both sides operate in close proximity. However, the incident also shows that these protocols must be continually reviewed and updated to reflect the changing nature of modern warfare. As military technology advances and the strategic environment evolves, so too must the rules and the procedures that govern military interactions. This ensures that all parties understand the risks and responsibilities involved in operating in contested spaces, thereby reducing the likelihood of conflict in modern warfare. The ability to detect and track potential threats from a significant distance is crucial. The HMS Queen Elizabeth's radar systems demonstrated this capability remarkably. The ship's radar technology, which incorporates the latest advancements in electronic warfare and signal processing, allowed the Royal Navy to detect the approaching Russian aircraft well before it could pose a significant threat. These advanced systems are designed to provide real-time data on incoming threats, enabling timely and accurate responses. The precision of these systems ensures that potential dangers are identified early, reducing the risk of surprise attacks and improving overall operational effectiveness. The role of aircraft in modern naval warfare has evolved with the advancements of technology. During the interception, the deployment of F-35B Lightning jets from the HMS Queen Elizabeth and Typhoon fighters from nearby RAF-BES exemplified the UK's advanced air defense capabilities. The F-35B, equipped with stealth technology and state-of-the-art avionics, is among the most advanced fighter jets in the world. Its stealth features reduce its visibility to radar, allowing it to approach and engage threats with minimal detection. The F-35's versatility enabling it to operate from both land and sea provides significant strategic advantages. Complementing the F-35Bs were Typhoon fighters. Renowned for their speed and agility, these aircraft played a crucial role in providing additional support during the interception. The Typhoon's high-performance capabilities allow it to handle various aerial threats effectively, making it an essential component of the UK's air defense strategy. Together, the F-35B and the Typhoon fighters ensured a layered defense system that could address potential threats from multiple angles. The technological advancements demonstrated in this interception incident are likely to shape the future of naval warfare as military forces increasingly operate in contested environments. The demand for cutting-edge surveillance detection and defense systems is expected to grow. The integration of unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, artificial intelligence and cyber warfare capabilities is anticipated to play a significant role in future military engagements. UAVs are becoming increasingly important in modern warfare due to their ability to gather intelligence and conduct operations without risking human lives. These drones can provide real-time surveillance and reconnaissance, offering a tactical advantage in monitoring and responding to threats. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, set to revolutionize various aspects of military operations, from autonomous combat systems to enhanced data analysis, as it can process vast amounts of information quickly, providing actionable insights and enabling faster decision-making. Cyber warfare capabilities are also expected to become more critical as military forces confront increasingly sophisticated cyber threats, so protecting communication networks and information systems from cyber attacks will be crucial in maintaining operational security and effectiveness. As we look to the future, it's evident that the challenges of operating in contested environments will continue to evolve. Advanced technology will play an increasingly prominent role in shaping military operations, with ongoing developments in surveillance detection and defense systems driving future strategies. At the same time, the importance of diplomacy and established rules of engagement cannot be overlooked. In a world where the potential for conflict remains ever present, these tools will be crucial for ensuring that incidents like this one don't escalate into something more dangerous. By investing in both military capabilities and diplomatic efforts, NATO and its allies can safeguard their interests and maintain stability in regions of strategic importance. But for how long do you think things will remain as calm as they are now? Let us know in the comments down below. If you liked our video today, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more information about what's going on in the world of international waters and beyond. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.